And you know, one thing that you hate that we do, that I do all the time, is I'll take a little tiny kernel of information and I will read way too much into it and talk about the implications of what that might mean. And I'm about to do it to the MVP of the NBA, Giannis Antetokounmpo. When asked if he would like to play with his brothers, he said it would be amazing to team up with his brothers. Milwaukee, LA, or wherever. Jalen, why did he just say Milwaukee? Why did he say or LA? Why didn't he just say Milwaukee? Why did he mention LA specifically? And does this mean that Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to play in Los Angeles?
How many Antetokounmpo brothers are in and around the NBA?
3.
3 of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where do they play?
Milwaukee and Los Angeles.
Okay. There's nothing to read into it. He didn't say New York.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He didn't say.
Time out.
Maybe we can. Okay. Go ahead.
Time out.
Go ahead.
You know he's going to be a free agent, okay? And in order for the 3 of them to play together in Los Angeles, he would have to then leave the Bucks and go to Los Angeles. And he's openly speaking to the media about that possibility. There's something there. The idea that he said to the media that he could potentially play with his brothers in Los Angeles says something to me. And if I'm a Bucks fan, it's cause for concern.
Well, you're just ignoring the older brother that he plays with in Milwaukee and assuming that he's going to go play with his other brother in L.A. Why didn't you say they are going to play with their brother in L.A.?
Well, one is the MVP of the league and the other one is a reserve that barely sees the court. Okay. That's why I said it, okay? You know why.
I think Giannis is really happy in Milwaukee. And I see him as one of those players that wants to play his entire career for one team. Because what more can they offer him? They gonna give him top dollar. He's in the MVP of the league, one of the faces of the NBA. They got the best record in the game. Now it's on him to deliver the goods. That's what's next.
Well, this certainly seems like a pivotal year for that franchise, and their performance in the playoffs, I believe, will dictate whether or not he stays or leaves. Jalen, it doesn't seem like Coach John Beilein is going to stay in Cleveland. As this second that we are recording this, he is currently still the coach, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be very long. He had a 5-year deal that he is now out of, and Woj is reporting that JB Bickerstaff will take over. Jalen, what does this tell you about college coaches versus NBA coaches and making the transition between the two?
It's by the way, I really like John Beilein and forever grateful for what he did for the University of Michigan and myself in particular, welcoming me back to campus with open arms. What this says is that transition is a quantum leap that not many are able to be successful at doing. Mm-hmm. It's a sea change. When you're the head coach in college, you're the hammer. In the league, you're the nail. That's just how it goes. Coaches are hired in the league to be fired. As opposed in college, it seems like your job can be grandfathered in for decades upon decades if you're able to show that you could do a good job. And so what I've noticed over the last handful of days is how the business of the league shifts. Because at first it was in buyout talks. Then it was stepping down. Mm-hmm. Then it was out, potentially. And the reason why I distinguish all of those terms is that's the difference between them paying him those other 4.5 years versus only paying him for the games that he's coached this season. And that's what I see happening here.
I am interested to see just how much of that 5-year contract he actually is going to walk away with, because I do not believe that he's going to get paid the whole thing. Kyrie Irving. He's going to see a specialist about his shoulder. You remember earlier this season he had shoulder trouble. Then he was out with a strained knee. Jalen, how bad is this for the Nets and Kyrie Irving?
It's not really bad because Kevin Durant back in the gym. This is a freestyle, basically punt type of season for the Nets. They have no expectations. If they make the playoffs, they're going to lose in the first round. We understand that their future is going to be built around KD and Kyrie, and so it's not a big deal. You give Karis LeVert more chances to play minutes, along with Dinwiddie. See which ones you feel like you can either keep for value and or move for the exact same thing, kind of indirectly like they did with D'Angelo Russell.
Well, you mentioned Kevin Durant being back in the gym, and we've got footage of it. Jalen, I got so excited when I saw this footage. Just look at Kevin Durant. First of all, he never misses. Torn Achilles, no torn Achilles, high school gym, NBA arena. Like, this guy never misses. But look at him. He's been sweating like David Jacoby out there, getting shots up, looking comfortable. How encouraging is this video of Kevin Durant playing actual basketball?
He looking like Michigan's own Imani Bates, who went for over 60 and 20 boards. Told you about the sophomore Jacoby. Went to check him out earlier in the year with Juwan and Tom Izzo. That's what this video reminds me of. I'll send it to you. I got a video of Imani making 40 straight from three. 40 straight from three. And that body type, that shot, it reminds me of one of the top players in the world, in Kevin Durant. And so many times we say, you know, the best players in the game. When Kevin Durant returns, we go back to playing three-card Monte with that conversation between LeBron, KD, and Kawhi. Depending on who's winning the championship that season, or finals MVP, or regular season MVP, those are the best players in the game. Don't get it twisted.
We're so glad you're watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, make sure you subscribe to ESPN Plus. We'll see you there.